Hello everyone, and welcome to a new video. And I know it's been a long time, but I figured I would pop in and talk about my experiences with hyperfixations. Because why not? Anyway, to get things started, I will give a content warning actually. And this isn't like anything serious, but I will mention that I am professionally diagnosed with ADHD, as in the inattentive type. So that'll give some background information for this at least. I don't know if I have anything else yet. I'm still trying to figure that out. If I can. And I will be speaking from experience, so it could be different for someone else. And also keep in mind that many neurodivergent people, not just ADHD, can experience hyperfixations. And yeah, let's get into it, shall we? So, what is a hyperfixation exactly? Well, a hyperfixation is a topic that really interests you to quite a point that it's actually distracting. Though, of course, with ADHD you get easily distracted anyway, seemingly regardless of type. Because there is 3 types of ADHD, which I am the inattentive one. So what this means is that when you gain a new interest, or at least for me, it tends to stick around for maybe a few days to a week to a month, something like that. I consider it more special when it's lasted at least, or comes back frequently. But if it's lasted at least a year, then that's when I consider it not a hyperfixation anymore. At least for me. For someone else, it could still be one. Now, we don't exactly control these, because they just sort of happen. Hold on. Yo. And yes, I do have those on. I'm not the best at making up animations sometimes. Anyway, back to the original topic. They take up a lot of focus, as you might imagine. And I'm not talking a typical interest either. A typical interest just kinda, yeah, it's there, but it's not taking over your mind basically. All the time. Well, not all the time, but most of the time. Oh goodness, that's a lot of eagles. Well, anyway, rocket launcher. Where was I? Anyway. Let me just dodge these boys real quick. But it takes up a lot of attention. And I know in this day and age people like to use that word very loosely, which it's fine if you want to use it and it helps you. But it's not exactly correct for a normal interest. Because like I said, a normal interest won't take up all your attention and your time and money even sometimes. Because when you get interested in something, you usually want more of it, right? So that can become a problem. because when you get hyperfixated on something, it's like, how would I explain this? Sorry, it's taking me a while. Maybe I'm having slower processing while blocktailsing it. Let's see. Sure, we'll use that. Hey, that's actually a good metaphor. It, like, infects your mind almost. Like, as in the venom shank that I just used. Or maybe that's an excuse to talk about the fun-eyed sorts. Anyway, now that we've kind of loosely discussed what a hyperfixation is, what is my experience with it? As I've said before, it can be up to like a few days to a week or a month that it takes up my attention. And like, in some ways it can actually be good because it's also helped me with my cosplays before, which is pretty nice. That was convenient. Why did my launcher was nice. You know what we're gonna do? Venom shank it again. Now, I'm definitely more talkative than I used to be regarding these fixation stuff. I used to be more quiet and not really wanting to rant about them, so I didn't want to bother people with them. But now I'm just like, okay, here's this whole rant about, like, I don't know, like, fried chicken or something. I don't know why I do this. I mean, I sort of do, but, like, still. Oops. No? Shit. I really gotta stop doing that. Let's see. There we go. Okay, out of the way. Now, like, I am really bad at focus on this right now, oh my goodness. Anyway. It pretty much feels like it can also feel like a distraction, but at the same time, it can also feel like kind of useful. Because, like I said, for cosplays, that's really good, because then I absorb a lot of information regarding those. Because, like, when I get hyperfixated on something, I tend to read all about it and everything. Or at least the best I can. Like, reading wiki pages, and if it's a game, playing it. If it's a show, watching it. Usually over and over. Dynamite time. Dodging time again. maybe next time I should just record the gameplay and then talk over it. Just to kind of accommodate a bit here. Now, a lot of people like to make it out to be all like, oh, fun and games and whatever. Which, yes, it is kind of fun, but like, it creates a lot of dysfunction, I feel like. It's like, at the same time, I feel like I can't stop mentioning it, like having references and talking about it in general. My friends know me for this very well. I can also get stuck on one game at a time, usually. I don't know why. I just feel like it's easier. We're gonna use the launcher on this guy. Ow! There. Oh. I guess we can't do that. I forgot about that. Well, you know what that means. We get an ice cream. Yay! Now, if you kind of think about it, something that takes up all your focus can make it hard to focus on other important things. Like, say you have an important project to work on, and it's due at some point, but your hyperfixation won't leave you alone. That's pretty much what it feels like. I'm not do stays on this guy. It gets you all topsy-turvy like these. Obviously, and it can be hard to like. It can be hard to regulate it, if I'm being honest. So just you wait and then just perished. That's lovely. I'm just gonna do this real quick. I kinda go all over the place. I'm not the best at explaining, so I am very sorry. That is a lot of statues. Well, you know what that means. Oh. Like, it can be hard with spending as well, because then you want to, as I said before, you want to spend on your fixation as well. But then you can't, because, you know, obviously you need to, like, budget and stuff. Now that I've kind of yapped about it, if you have any questions, just, like, ask in the comments. That's completely fine. I know I didn't explain very in-depth. But now, what are my current fixations as of the making of this video? Well, if you didn't guess, blacktails. And then there's also Noob Squad by Soybean. So that's another one. That one's actually more recent than Blocktails. Blocktails has kind of been around for a while. Now, I assume with, what was it? I assume with, special interests, it also works kind of similarly. Because, like, and I don't mean, like, they're, like, similar in, I guess, destructibility? I don't know. I forgot what I was saying, honestly. And that's what that felt like. Right. Because with special interests, they're more long-term. And from what I've seen, can usually last from childhood as well. Like, a lot of them have been lifelong. Though I'm sure they can also fade over time. So that's pretty interesting. Also, I'm gonna vibe in here for a bit so I can actually rant. There is one thing that I did mention before about how the internet likes to view it as, like, fun in games and whatnot. Which, again, like I said, it can be fun. But that's not all there is to it. There's a lot of dysfunction that comes with it. At least I find. Again, I could have multiple things going on. I don't actually know. But it is a lot because it can take up your attention. And, of course, I'm an adult now, so that's another thing. I know. Surprising. So, that makes it a little bit difficult because of course, there's adult focuses that you need to do. And then your brain is just like, nah, let's just Blocktails it. For no reason. Or at least it feels like no reason. Now, am I offended by the internet being all, oh yeah, it's all fun and games, whatever? Not really. I can expect it at this point, but I can see why others would be. I just feel like it, creates more It creates more misunderstandings. Sorry. I think my processing is a little slow. At least today. Seemed to be that way yesterday too, a little bit. At least last night. Now, of course, this also means that, like, my persona will probably change around a lot. This one's actually an OC, the one that you're seeing on screen. But, yeah. See, what else is there? I find I'm very, like, the researchy type. At least for that. So I can get hyperfixated on a topic and then suddenly I know, like, a lot of stuff about it. And it's weird because I actually don't really have the best memory, unlike when I had it as a kid. I actually had a really good memory back then. Then I kind of get screwed over. But, like, Okay, that is on. Anyway. I'm just gonna roam around a bit while we're doing this. Just so you have something to watch other than me walking in circles. Like I do in person. Actually, that's a segue. We could talk about more things regarding ADHD, if you want. It's like, obviously hyperfixations aren't the only thing that happens with neurodivergence. There's also a lot of other things, like, say, what's another one? Another one that people like to kind of put as like a fun thing is stimming. Now, this isn't limited to neurodivergence, they just tend to do it more than neurotypicals. Neurotypicals is basically anyone that isn't neurodivergent, if that wasn't clear. Now, what is stimming? Well, it's a self-regulation tool. And it usually, at least for me, it usually happens when I'm like, either, I guess overstimulated is the word. My bad for if I used that word wrong. And then, when I'm also excited or happy, I also have certain ones. Or if I'm just having trouble focusing and stuff. Sometimes when I'm trying to get my words, I'll like snap my fingers like twice and it seems to work. I don't know why. And like, it's actually, there's a lot of stims out there, but if you want mine, the most common one is my pacing. People get kind of fussy about that, mostly because it can make them dizzy, which is fair. I am going in circles. I can't say nothing. I get motion sickness if I'm on my screen too long in the car. Which is why I don't do that. And then, I think it's hand flapping I also do sometimes. A few of them are a bit harder to describe. But I do fidget a lot, which is another ADHD thing. Please keep in mind this video is not to diagnose anyone else. Get a professional to do that. Not me. I ain't no professional. That don't make sense. I'm just a dude that was diagnosed actually very late. I was only diagnosed like September 2025. So that's another thing. Anyways, now that I've kind of yapped for a bit, I should probably stop before this video gets too long. So if you want more, I don't know, like neurodivergent stuff or just me yapping, then we can do that. I'm fine with that. Just let me know in the comments or like the video, you know, subscribble, as I like to use. I used to call it that all the time. But yeah, average YouTuber plug. That's obvious. And I hope you enjoyed. I'm sorry if it was a little awkward. It's been like a really long time since I'd done this. So I apologize for that. And as I said at the start of the video, this is speaking from experience. So someone else could have a different experience, which I'd love to hear about, by the way, if you have them. So, yeah. I shall go now, so I can bug people or something, or do whatever else I need to do. And I hope to see everyone soon. Yippee! Bye!